What's up, pussies? This is the first of many sequels that are probably gonna come out because, as we know, rebalances happen and I'll likely cover them. And yes, I have seen the new shit that's coming, like having our atomic breaths be able to go through buildings. I'm in the KU Discord. I see it all. When an update comes out, you bet your ugly ass I'm gonna go ahead and cover it. You're not ugly, actually. You're beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, isn't it somehow beautiful that I managed to hit 2K in a month? What the fuck is happening to me? It's gotten to the point where YouTubers like Apple and Drom have seen my videos, and a handful of other KU YouTubers. Well, Apple does Project Kaiju, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, people seem to like what I do, so hey, I'll keep the ball rolling, and I'll keep delivering. The topic of today is Millennium Godzilla, because he got a rescript, not a remodel. There's a difference. Which means he does look basically the same, but boy, he definitely has some changes. What are those changes? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? So to start things off, we need to discuss his melee attacks because they did get somewhat of a damage nerf. Well, why did they get nerfed? Well, I do have two theories. Not only is it kind of ridiculous that he was able to deal 1,290 damage in a pretty consistent rate, but also because he now received knockback, which, if I'm correct, was only exclusive to Frostbite Godzilla until now. And it actually can be pretty useful in conjunction with his brand new V move, which I will discuss in a second. But before I talk about that, we need to discuss how his new beam and new explosion function. See, originally, the beam and explosion were really fucking long animations, but would deal massive damage, right? And one of the complaints I've had with Millennium is how long they would take, because if I'm in a fight, what if I need that beam or explosion now? And by the way, don't mind the gameplay, because honestly, I didn't know what to do here. I'm trying to fight the Ultima, he's just standing there saying a bunch of shit. I'm trying to go for the Gigan as well, and I have the worst aim possible. I know people will make fun of me for playing like a potato. I get it. I'm bad at video games. Ignoring my stupid ass gameplay, the way his beam and explosion work now is that you have to hold and release. The longer you hold it, the more damage it'll do, which is useful if you need to get a quick beam or explosion right off the bat, like if it's an emergency. But keep in mind, if you do like tap the button and don't charge all the way, you're gonna do fuck all damage wise. But by chance, if you do charge all the way, not only will you be handsomely rewarded with a lot of damage, you will also inflict a burn and also get a tick for your new bar. Burn stacks. By the way, I did get killed by this Kong, and apparently me dying to him was karma. I don't know what the karma was for, so I did ask him, and I'm gonna get canceled for this, but he did tell me the reason, and it's an unforgivable sin. Hashtags your dad. You guys know the rules. You get tagged, you tag them back. And now is a perfect time for me to show an example of his new V move with the burn stacks. See, depending on how many burn stacks you have with the V move, you can get a level of health regen and speed. No one has the right to revenge kill me in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable. So what do? First, I say no. Then I get out of there. This V move is like a save me button. It is really helpful as an escape tool, or it can assist in combat. It can work both ways. It's especially helpful in Millennium's case because, as I mentioned in my first video, he's more of an ambusher than an actual, head-on fighter. And now that he's equipped with the ability to go really fast and regen his health, it makes fighting players as a Millennium a lot easier. The V move was especially useful for that Kong from earlier. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know you slurp cock too? I recommend when you start spawning in, you surprise a random person with a full charge beam. Because not only can you get some potentially high damage numbers, you'll also get a point for your burn stack ability. And don't use your V move right off the bat, use it wisely, because once you use that V move, it's gonna take forever until you can use it again. And I do have a complaint with his new charge up feature. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea of holding attacks and then unleashing loads amount of power if you hold it for long enough. But you gotta understand something, my keybinds for attacks are 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Which means I have to hold the attack by holding 3 and 4, and my hand just looks stupid. My hand looks like a mantis trying to ask another mantis out for dinner and give him head later. I shouldn't have to potentially switch keybinds just for 2 moves. And if you have to hold and charge just for full powers on both these attacks, I shudder to think what mobile is like. But that's really my only complaint. Overall, I feel like Millennium definitely got a huge upgrade, and I'll go as far as to say he's definitely not a weenie anymore.
You can't hide what's inside.